Kylee Traub.
Could you please get Kylee Traub?
Just make sure I'm right. Ma'am, if you could raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm your testimony in the matter pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. You can have a seat. Ma'am, if you could state your name and spell it for the record, please.
My name is Kylee Traub, Kylee Traub.
Ma'am, how are you employed?
I am employed as a latent print examiner at the Georgia Bureau of Investigation in the Division of Forensic Sciences, and this is commonly referred to as the State Crime Laboratory.
What are your responsibilities at the crime lab?
My responsibilities include, but are not limited to, processing evidence for the presence of latent prints, photographing any latent prints that are developed on these items, conducting comparisons of latent fingerprints to known fingerprints, running searches on the FBI NGI database as well as the Georgia APHIS database, and writing all of my conclusions in a report that I can testify to in court.
Can you tell us a little bit about your education, training, and experience as it relates to that job responsibility?
I received my Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry from the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. I then completed the 20-week National Latent Print Examiner Training Academy in Meridian, Mississippi, as well as the Latent Print Processing and Latent Print Examination training programs at the GBI.
And can you testify generally about how one might search for fingerprints on items of evidence?
So for items of evidence, they are typically processed based on what type of evidence they are. So a non-porous item such as glass, metal, or plastic would be processed one way, whereas porous items such as paper, cardboard, or things like that would be processed in another manner.
Okay. And why would that be the case? Why would there be a difference in the way that they're tested?
The difference is due to the non-porous items, your glass, metals, and plastics. These items are normally smooth and shiny surfaces, so a fingerprint could be easily wiped off. It's not going to be absorbed into that surface. So we are trying to preserve those as best as possible. And then a porous item, paper, cardboard, these items are going to more absorb the fingerprint residue. So we are going to apply different chemicals to be able to make those visible to the naked eye.
Have you had the opportunity to come to court to testify before about latent print processing at the GBI Crime Lab?
Yes, I have.
Approximately how many times?
Approximately, I believe, 7 times.
And during those times that you previously testified, have you been qualified as an expert?
Yes, I have.
In what areas?
In the area of latent print processing and examination.
At this time, Your Honor, I would move to tender Ms. Traub as an expert in latent print processing.
Any objection, Mr. Cruz?
No, ma'am.
This witness is admitted as an expert in latent print processing. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Traub, did you have the opportunity to test certain items of evidence for the presence of or lack of presence of latent prints in connection with the case involving a victim by the name of Tara Baker?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And if you are aware, were certain items tested back in 2001?
Yes, some of the items that I tested were previously tested.
And what would be your reason for then going back and retesting them?
We have some new chemicals that we did not have in the past that we have access to now to to conduct more testing.
Are you aware of what the results were back in 2001?
I do not know exactly what processes were applied, but I do know what the results were, yes.
What were those?
Those were negative results.
Does that mean there were no prints?
That means there were either no prints that were potentially suitable for comparison, or yes, no prints at all.
May?
This has been marked in states 107. I'm just going to ask you to hold on to that for the time being, okay? So you mentioned testing some items of evidence as it relates to this case. Was one of those things a power transformer?
Yes.
And you said that was 96. All right. So do you recall what testing procedures you performed on that piece of evidence, ma'am?
If I'm able to refer to my notes, I do.
Absolutely.
For the power transformer, I would have conducted a visual examination where I look at the item of evidence as it was received to see if there are any visible latent prints. I then applied a chemical known as lumicyano. This is a fluorescent superglue, so any latent prints that are developed would also fluoresce so that I could look at them under a light source. And then I also applied what is known as powder in suspension. This was a white in color chemical, and this can render any fingerprints that might be in blood visible to the eye.
Moving along to the next piece of evidence, that the knife set. The knife block, referred to as, I'm going to use the crime lab's number, item 13.
Yes.
Do you recall performing testing on that piece of evidence?
Yes, I do.
And what testing did you perform on it?
For the knife block, I also started with a visual examination. This was followed by lumicyano again, the fluorescent superglue. I then applied DFO and anhydrine. These are chemicals that are used for porous processing. Since the knife block was made of wood, it would absorb fingerprint residue, so I applied those chemicals to look for that type of evidence.
Okay. Next, I want to talk about item 14, and using the crime lab number. Is that some stove knobs?
That is correct.
Can you describe the testing you conducted on the stove knobs?
On the stove knobs, I conducted my visual examination, followed by the lumicyano.
Okay. And then lastly, on states 15, I'm sorry, crime lab 15.
Yes.
States 94. Excuse me. What item of evidence was that?
This item of evidence was a knife.
What testing did you perform on the knife?
On this knife, I performed my visual examination, followed by lumicyano and the white powder in suspension.
As it relates to all four of those pieces of evidence, can you testify as to the results of your search for fingerprints?
For all of those items, the results were negative for fingerprints.
And is States 107 a report that fairly and accurately summarizes the testing that you performed and the conclusions that you reached?
Yes.
And is it signed and dated by you? Or signed with a date on it, I guess?
It is signed with the date that the report was released, yes.
Good to tender States 107 at this time.
Any objection?
Yes, you're saying.
Any response to the hearsay objection, Mr. Bolden?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I will admit it over objection.
Ma'am, those are all the questions I have. Defense counsel may have some questions. Thank you.
Mr. Cruz,
I don't have any questions for you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
may this witness be excused, Mr. Bolden?
Yes.
Any objection by the defense?
No, ma'am.
You are free to go.
Thank you.
You may call your next witness.
Your Honor, now might be, I think we're going to get into.
Well, we're waiting for lunch to arrive for the jury, so we're going to keep going.
Bear with me just a second.
All right?